Welcome back to my channel BBC Rare Coins, Coin Collectors and Treasure Hunters. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of one of America's most iconic and beloved coins, the USA 1-cent Lincoln penny. Let's start. Top 1. In the world of American coin collecting, some of the most valuable treasures come not from ancient times or rare metals, but from modern coins that most people handle every day without a second thought. One of the most surprising and exciting examples is the 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin created for circulation, yet hiding a story of historical celebration, collector passion, and rare errors that have driven its value sky high. Even more unbelievable is the tale of a rare script error quarter dollar, which stunned the numismatic world when it sold for an astonishing $77,000, making it one of the most expensive modern coins in U.S. history. Let's begin with the 2009 Lincoln cent. This wasn't just another year for the penny. In 2009, the U.S. Mint issued 4 special reverse designs to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent itself. These 4 designs each told a chapter of Lincoln's life: birth and early childhood in Kentucky, formative years in Indiana, professional life in Illinois, presidency in Washington, D.C. Each design was filled with rich historical symbolism, from the humble log cabin of Lincoln's childhood to the half-finished U.S. Capitol dome that symbolized the Civil War era. Collectors and history buffs were excited to see the change, but hidden among these beautiful coins were a few that would later become incredibly rare and valuable. One of the most sought-after versions is the 2009 Lincoln cent struck in copper, weighing 3.11 grams, instead of the standard 2.5-gram copper-plated zinc composition used for circulation. These copper versions were intended only for collector sets, but a few found their way into regular circulation. If you're lucky enough to find one, especially in pristine condition, it can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Even more dramatic are the error coins from 2009. There are reports of coins with die cracks, double dies, missing elements, and off-center strikes, all of which can significantly raise the coin's value. One such 2009 penny from the formative years design was discovered with severe doubling in Lincoln's hands and book, creating a visually dramatic and clearly noticeable error. That particular coin, certified in top mint state condition, sold for over $3,000 at auction. But the most extreme values come from a very small number of coins that combine rarity, error, and condition. These coins, especially those with major misstrikes or double denominations, have fetched 5-figure prices, proving that even a modern-day penny can become a true collector's treasure. Now, let's turn to the coin that truly blew everyone away: the script error quarter dollar, which made headlines when it was sold for an unbelievable $77,000. This wasn't a coin from a century ago. It wasn't made of gold or silver. It was a simple clad quarter, just like the ones in your pocket right now. Except it was unlike anything ever seen before. This extraordinary quarter had a bizarre, almost artistic minting error. The lettering on the coin, including Liberty, In God We Trust, and even the date, appeared in a script-style font, twisted, curved, and unlike any official U.S. Mint design. It looked as though the coin had been handwritten in cursive instead of machine-stamped with standard block letters. Collectors were stunned. Experts examined the coin and confirmed that this was not the result of post-mint tampering or damage. It was a genuine mint die error, possibly caused by a damaged hub or a rare die deterioration that distorted the text in an unpredictable way. Adding even more to its value was the fact that the coin was in near-perfect condition, with full mint luster, sharp detail, outside the distorted script, and no signs of circulation wear. The coin was certified as a top-grade specimen by a leading coin grading agency. Its uniqueness, combined with its flawless preservation, made it a once-in-a-lifetime find. When the coin was brought to auction, the bidding was fierce. Seasoned collectors and investors alike recognized that this was not just an error. It was a visual marvel and a piece of minting history. The final price? $77,000 for a single quarter. These two coins, the 2009 Lincoln cent in its rare forms, and the one-of-a-kind script error quarter, remind us that the most valuable coins aren't always the ones people expect. They don't have to be old. They don't have to be precious metal. They just need to be rare, unusual, or perfectly preserved. And they could be hiding anywhere, in your wallet, your piggy bank, or your spare change drawer. So the next time you get change back from a store, don't overlook the pennies and quarters. Look at the date. Examine the design. Check the lettering and details. What looks ordinary might actually be one of the most valuable coins in modern American history, because in the world of coins, sometimes the smallest details make the biggest difference. Top 2. In the world of American coin collecting, few things are more thrilling than discovering that an ordinary-looking coin holds an extraordinary secret. Every day, millions of coins change hands unnoticed, but some of them are worth far more than their face value. Hidden among the loose change in your pocket or tucked away in an old coin jar might be a treasure. One such treasure is the 1973 Lincoln 1-cent penny, which in its rarest and most valuable form has stunned collectors. But even that pales in comparison to the shocking story of a rare script error quarter dollar, a mysterious and one-of-a-kind coin that sold for an unbelievable $74,000. Setting a new standard for modern minting anomalies, let's begin with the 1973 Lincoln penny. At a first glance, it seems completely ordinary. Struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints in massive numbers, over 5 billion coins total, the 1973 penny was never considered scarce. It features the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It's made of copper, as were all U.S. pennies before 1982. For decades, the 1973 penny has sat quietly in circulation, ignored by most, and often tossed into change jars without a second thought. But within that mountain of common coins are a handful of extraordinary rarities: coins struck in error, coins preserved in flawless condition, and coins that somehow defied the odds to become incredibly valuable. One of the most important factors for any coin's value is condition. A 1973 penny in circulated condition is worth 1 cent. But a 1973 penny in mint state, especially one graded MS-67 or higher, is extremely rare. The U.S. Mint wasn't known for perfect production standards in that era, and copper coins are easily damaged or toned. High-grade examples with full original red luster and sharp details are prized by collectors and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their certification and quality. Even more exciting are the rare mint error versions of the 1973 penny. Some examples have surfaced with off-center strikes, double dies, or were struck on the wrong planchet, such as a dime or foreign coin blank. One well-known 1973 penny error was struck on an aluminum planchet, a leftover from the experimental coins produced in 1974 that were never released. That coin, although controversial, drew massive attention from collectors and experts alike, and if ever authenticated, could command tens of thousands of dollars at auction. What makes coins like this so fascinating is how they turn the ordinary into something truly rare. And that brings us to one of the most incredible discoveries in modern U.S. coin history: the script error quarter dollar, a coin that defied logic, shocked collectors, and ultimately sold for a mind-blowing $74,000. This quarter didn't date back to the 1800s. It wasn't silver or gold. It was a regular clad quarter that somehow escaped the mint with a dramatic and completely unprecedented error. The lettering on the coin appeared in a flowing script font, almost as if it had been handwritten. Words like "liberty," "in God we trust," and the date were twisted and curved, completely different from the official font used on all U.S. coinage. Even more puzzling, the design was otherwise correct. George Washington's portrait, the reverse, the rim, all normal, except for the text. At first, the coin was suspected to be fake or altered. But after rigorous analysis, grading, and verification, it was certified as a genuine U.S. Mint error, likely caused by a catastrophic die misalignment, faulty hub, or experimental strike gone wrong. Whatever the cause, the result was mesmerizing, a coin unlike any other. Adding to the coin's rarity was its pristine state. It had never been circulated, with no visible wear, full mint luster, and sharp details throughout. This perfect condition, paired with the wildly unique error, made it one of the most talked-about modern coins in the country. When it was finally offered at public auction, collectors from around the world jumped into the bidding. And when the final bid reached $74,000, it cemented the coin's place in numismatic history. What makes this even more fascinating is that coins like this, errors, misprints, and high-grade survivors, are still out there. They're not sitting in museums or locked away in vaults. They're in coin jars, pockets, and old dresser drawers. You don't have to be a millionaire to own a valuable coin. You just need a sharp eye, a little knowledge, and the curiosity to look closely at what most people ignore. So the next time you're handed a penny or a quarter, take a second to look closer. What year is it? How sharp is the design? Are there any strange letters, shapes, or features? Because in a world where billions of coins are struck each year, a few slip through the cracks, and those few can be worth a fortune. The 1973 Lincoln penny, with its rare errors and perfect condition survivors, and the legendary $74,000 script error quarter, remind us that history is still being discovered in the most unexpected places. Your next great coin find could be hiding in plain sight, right in your own change. Top 3. In the fascinating world of coin collecting, even the smallest coins can carry stories worth thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, of dollars. The humble 1-cent coin, often overlooked and tossed into jars or left behind in change trays, can turn out to be a hidden treasure. Today, we're unlocking the mystery behind the most valuable and expensive coin in history for the year 1975, the Lincoln 1-cent penny. And we'll also dive into the unbelievable tale of a rare script error quarter dollar that shocked collectors when it sold for an astonishing $69,000. Let's begin with the 1975 Lincoln penny, a coin minted during an era when billions of cents were produced and spread across the nation. At first glance, the 1975 penny looks no different from the others. Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in use since 1959. Over 5.4 billion of these pennies were minted at the Philadelphia and Denver mints combined, making it one of the more common coins of its time. But within this ocean of ordinary coins, there exist extraordinary rarities. One of the factors that drives up the value of any coin is its condition, specifically, how well it was preserved straight from the mint. Most 1975 pennies circulated heavily, collecting scratches, nicks, and discoloration. However, a very small number were saved in pristine condition. These mint state coins, especially those graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services, are extremely rare and highly desirable. A flawless 1975 Lincoln cent with full red color and sharp details can command prices of $1,500 to $3,000 or more at auction. But the real excitement begins when we look at error coins, those that were misstruck at the mint, creating unique, one-of-a-kind pieces. Among 1975 Lincoln pennies, there have been reported examples of off-center strikes, double die obverse, and even strikes on foreign planchets, such as dimes or steel blanks. These types of errors are highly collectible because they result from moments when something went wrong during the minting process, and only a handful made it out into the world. One of the most famous and valuable examples was a 1975 Lincoln penny struck on an aluminum planchet, believed to be a test piece or experimental error. Because aluminum cents were officially tested only in 1974 and never released for circulation, any 1975 aluminum cent is considered a remarkable anomaly. If authenticated, such a coin could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Now, let's turn our attention to one of the most legendary discoveries in modern coin collecting, a quarter so strange, so unique, that it stunned the entire numismatic community. This is the story of the script error quarter dollar, a true one-of-a-kind coin that sold for a jaw-dropping $69,000. This error quarter wasn't old. It wasn't made of silver or gold. It was an ordinary clad quarter, the kind that you might get back as change from a vending machine. But what made it extraordinary was the bizarre, script-like style of its lettering. Instead of the standard block letters used by the U.S. Mint, this coin featured text that appeared to be handwritten or cursive. The words, "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and even the date were warped, curved, and flowed like handwriting, rather than stamped in the rigid font used on all official U.S. coins. Collectors were stunned. Experts examined the coin under magnification and determined that this was not the result of damage or tampering. It was a true mint error, possibly caused by a deformed hub or a misalignment in the die during production. The result was a surreal and beautiful mistake, a quarter that looked like no other in existence. What made this coin even more valuable was its condition. It was in uncirculated, mint state, with sharp detail, strong luster, and no post-mint damage. When the coin was finally authenticated by a top grading agency and listed for public auction, the buzz among collectors was immediate. As bidding began, it became clear this was not just another error coin. It was a numismatic marvel. The final bid, $69,000, the buyer knew they were acquiring something historic, a coin that was both an artistic accident and a technical masterpiece. A mistake so dramatic that it turned a simple 25-cent piece into a museum-worthy collectible. These stories, the rare, valuable 1975 Lincoln penny and the extraordinary $69,000 script error quarter, remind us of the hidden value that could be sitting in our everyday change. Most of us walk past pennies on the ground or spend quarters without a second glance. But once in a while, one of those coins turns out to be a hidden gem. So take a moment. Look through your coin jar. Flip through your spare change. Check for dates, errors, unusual lettering, and mint marks. Because the next great discovery in coin collecting history might just be sitting in your pocket, and it could be worth more than you ever imagined. Top 4. In the massive world of American coins, some of the most astonishing treasures are found not in vaults or museums, but in pockets, drawers, and jars across the country. Every so often, an ordinary-looking coin reveals an extraordinary story. Today, we uncover the surprising value and history behind the 1978 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin many consider ordinary, yet in its rarest form, holds immense value. And we'll explore one of the most shocking finds in modern coin collecting history, a script error quarter dollar that sold for a stunning $62,000 and left experts speechless. Let's start with the 1978 Lincoln penny. This coin was part of the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909. The obverse features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor D. Brenner, and the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial, used from 1959 until 2008. In 1978, over 8.4 billion of these pennies were minted at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Because of their high mintage and common appearance, many people assume 1978 pennies are worthless beyond face value. But that assumption can be very, very wrong. The key to understanding the hidden value of a 1978 penny lies in condition, rarity, and errors. While most circulated examples are worth just a cent, a small number of 1978 pennies have been discovered in near-perfect condition, flawless coins that have never been touched, scratched, or circulated. These are known as mint-state coins, and they are extremely hard to find due to how easily copper coins scratch or develop surface marks. A 1978 Lincoln penny graded MS67 red or higher is considered elite and can sell for over $1,500 at auction. Even more exciting are the mint error coins. Mistakes at the U.S. Mint don't happen often, but when they do, they can create one-of-a-kind coins that collectors chase for decades. Some rare 1978 pennies have been found with off-center strikes, double-die errors, and even transitional planchet mistakes, where the coin was accidentally struck on the wrong type of metal. One known 1978 penny was discovered struck on a foreign coin planchet, making it significantly lighter and thinner than a normal cent. Its size and metal composition were unlike anything expected for that year, and after expert verification, the coin was valued at several $1,000s. Another dramatic example was a double-die obverse, where Lincoln's portrait and the date showed clear doubling under magnification. That coin, in uncirculated condition, sold for nearly $3,000. But while the 1978 penny has its surprises, nothing compares to the story of the script error quarter dollar, one of the most bizarre and valuable modern errors ever discovered in U.S. coinage. This wasn't an antique. It wasn't silver or gold. It was an everyday Washington quarter. Except it wasn't ordinary at all. This quarter was struck with a jaw-dropping error that changed everything. The lettering on the coin appeared in a flowing script or cursive style, unlike anything ever issued by the U.S. Mint. The words, "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and even the date appeared curved, looped, and hand-drawn, resembling handwriting more than mint engraving. The bizarre font made the coin instantly stand out. Experts at first believed it might have been altered after minting, but upon further analysis, it was confirmed as a genuine mint error, likely the result of a rare hub misalignment or experimental die mix-up during production. This was no simple mistake. It was a visual masterpiece born from a mechanical accident, and its rarity made it worth far more than its face value. What made it even more extraordinary was its pristine condition. The coin had never been used in circulation, showing sharp detail and full mint luster. When it was brought to auction, the bidding started strong and only grew more intense. Collectors recognized its uniqueness immediately, a one-of-kind mint error with mysterious origins, in perfect shape. After several rounds of fierce bidding, the final hammer price landed at an incredible $62,000. This wasn't just a sale. It was a moment that proved even modern coins, if rare enough, can demand the kind of respect and price once reserved for ancient gold or historic silver. It was a reminder that history is still being written at the mint, and that coin collecting is as much about discovery as it is about nostalgia. These stories, of the valuable 1978 Lincoln penny and the mind-blowing $62,000 script quarter, remind us that coins are more than just money. They are pieces of art, machines of history, and in some cases, hidden jackpots waiting to be found. So don't overlook your change. That dull penny from 1978 might just be a hidden treasure. That strange-looking quarter might be worth more than your entire wallet. The next great coin discovery could be in your hand right now, and you won't know unless you take a closer look. Top 5. In the world of coin collecting, one coin has stunned experts and collectors alike with its mysterious origin, historical significance, and extraordinary value: the 1982 Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny, passed over in change every day. But hidden among the billions minted in 1982 is one of the most valuable and expensive coins in U.S. history, a true numismatic legend. The year 1982 marked a major shift in U.S. coinage. Due to rising copper prices, the mint transitioned from the traditional 95% copper composition to a cheaper zinc core with a thin copper coating. Both types were minted in the same year, creating 7 known varieties: large date and small date designs, struck in both copper and zinc, and across Philadelphia and Denver mints. But one version was never supposed to exist, and that's exactly what makes it priceless. That coin is the 1982 D small date copper penny. According to official mint records, Denver only struck small date pennies using the new zinc composition. But against all odds, a small number of 1982 D pennies have been discovered with the small date design and the heavier 3.1-gram copper planchet. This type shouldn't exist, and yet it does. One verified example sent shockwaves through the collecting community. It was graded and authenticated, confirming that it was not only real but also a genuine mint error of historic importance. This rare penny, visually identical to countless others, was valued at over $18,000, with predictions that future auctions could drive the price even higher. Its worth lies not just in metal or age, but in its defiance of official mint production, a mistake that became a masterpiece. For collectors, this coin represents the ultimate find. It's not made of silver or gold. It's not ancient, but it's rare, real, and out there. Maybe even hiding in your own pocket changed. So the next time you see a 1982 penny, don't ignore it. Weigh it. Look closely at the date style and mint mark. Because 1 cent could be worth a fortune, and the 1982 D small date copper penny proves it.